What is going on, everybody? I'm excited for this video I'm going to show you today because this is something I've been wanting to make for a long time, but I wanted to make sure that I was set up correctly so I could show you exactly like why I do what I do, like the business aspect of banking and trying to keep track of all your finances. Today, guys, what I'm going to be talking to you about is how to use profit first banking for wholesaling. Now, the profit first banking method, maybe some of you don't know what it is, so I'm going to show you what it is today. But by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to use profit first banking, not only for your wholesaling business, but for your personal life, for your rentals. Profit first banking is legit. And I'll tell you, I have experience in my life of not using it, and I'll tell you exactly why that's bad. So stay tuned. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to want to miss out on this because you're going to know exactly what profit first banking strategy is, what I used to do before I switched banks, like what was the strategy that I had with paying out and splitting up into different envelopes, the way I'm, spend my money and save my money. The problem with normal banking, why I switched from Wells Fargo recently to profit first model, North One, which actually helps you set up the profit first model. And where do you go to set it up? Let's dive right into the first thing that a lot of you probably want to know. You probably want to know, what is profit first banking method? Okay, you're probably like, what the heck is that, Nate? Well, the profit first banking method, we're going to go immediately because you guys already know we all go to my mind map that I give out for free that shows you how to run your wholesaling business, doing a deal from step 1 through 10. But if you go to this side right here where it says after you've mastered the process and you want to scale up your business, I go over here higher level things like hiring, taxes, acquisitions, and finances. Managing your bank account. Now, if you start making money, you need to be able to handle your finances. And this is the best way to do it. All right, everybody. So right here is the profit first model. All right. So what the profit first model means is you're going to get revenue in your company. You're going to get money that goes into your bank account. And we all have had this set up in our banking, in our lives. We have one account. All the money goes into one account. And then you have to determine, you just spend out of the account and you really don't know how much is allocated for payroll. You don't know how much is allocated for taxes. You just have it all in one bank account and you're just hoping it never runs out. So with the profit first model, what this does is it shows you, depending on how much money you bring in a year in your business, how much you should allocate to different bank accounts or envelopes. So as soon as revenue comes in, let's say a $10,000 wholesale fee comes into your business, you should be able to split that $10,000 of real revenue up into percentages of 5% for profit, 50% for owner pay, taxes, operating expenses. And depending on how big your company gets or how much money you make, the difference in percentages changes. So what I would do, guys, is if I got paid a check of like $10,000 in my personal life, this would go, I'd say, okay, we're going to have 10% for taxes, 15% for taxes. I pay tithing. I pay fast offering to my church. How much of it goes to travel? How much goes to investments? And then I would have to manually take this money and transfer it into accounts. I would have to manually go, okay, Wells Fargo, transfer this much to this account for taxes. And I had a bunch of accounts. And the problem with Wells Fargo is you have to have a minimum balance of like $500 per account. So if you want to run a model like this, you have to have like $4,000 of accounts just sitting there with how many accounts that you have. Now I was like, that's annoying, but I did it for a while and I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I heard about the profit first model and that there's actually services that will work with you and give you multiple accounts with no fees, no minimum fees in there. And I was like, okay, let's check it out. So I had to actually get in a position where I could start switching. So I recently just switched. Okay. So I'm going to show you how I've set up these and why the North One, the link that I provided for you guys, if you want to check it out, if you sign up, you get $50 and I get $50. So, and then check it out if you want, but let me tell you why this is dope. So if you're starting out your business or your personal life and you're like, hey, I really struggle with just having my money in one account. I'd like for it to separate so I know exactly where the money should go. That's what North One does. So right here, for example, this is my business account. All the revenue goes into the deposit account and automatically, without me having to do anything, it takes 35% of the revenue, the money that gets deposited, and allocates it to owner's pay. So I know already, it's already there. It already has to go there. Then it goes into profit and debt. Of having to pay off profit, or I actually have some debt, just to be straight, because I have some houses that aren't selling. So I got to save some money up to pay those off, and taxes. Okay. So that is how this is set up for my business that I just opened this up and I'm liking the way it works. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to freaking open it up for my rental. So this is a rental that I have and I wanted to do the same thing. So when the revenue from the rental comes in, by the way, I just opened this up like yesterday. So I had to deposit $40 just to get it going. So as soon as that $40 came in, it started, or it should have started. I guess this one didn't roll yet because I just created these. But what it would do is as money comes in, it will allocate funds to investments, 35% of the 40. Then it would allocate 10% for taxes, 10% for tithing, and 10% for travel, or 35% for travel. Sorry, this is actually my personal business account. This isn't for my rental. So this is how I actually run my life. When I get paid a paycheck, what I do is I say, okay, out of the whole amount that I just got, 35% is going to be allocated to stocks, putting more back into my business, 10% for taxes. I always pay tithing, 10% for tithing, God first, and then 35% for travel. And the rest would be just money for use for expenses. Okay. So that is for my personal life that I set up. And it's pretty cool because like I said, back in the day with Wells Fargo, I had to freaking go in here, type in how much I just got paid, split it up, put it to each account. And it took longer than I'd like, right? So if it can through automation, if it can do it automatically, I was all about that. So again, this is my personal life. Money comes in and gets deposited, automatically gets dispersed to the envelopes, the accounts that you want. No minimum balance required, freaking money. All right. Now, another thing that was cool for, like I told you, for one of my rentals, same thing. $40 got sent in just to start the account and the envelopes were already set up. So for my rental, 10% gets allocated for maintenance, 5% for profit, 8% for property management, which I own this with my brother-in-law, but we manage it. My wife manages it. So we get paid 8% to manage it. And then there's taxes that we're saving up. So I'm actually going to do this with all my accounts because I think it saves me so much time. And I'm actually able to look at my business and be like, okay, look, there's $40, for example. Let's say there's 10,000. There's $10,000 in here, but it's technically not $10,000 all meant to spend on like marketing. Okay. I would actually have to go to the deposit account, which is your operating expenses. And I'd say, okay, how much money is in there that is actually allocated for marketing? That is how you're supposed to do it. You wouldn't want to take out of the owner's pay, money. I mean, if, like I said, if there's $10,000 and it's all split up, but you realize you only have like $4,000 for operating expenses in the deposit account, but you have a $10,000 mailer campaign you need to send, for example, well, you're like, well, shoot, I don't have that because I got to get paid. There's got to be profit and there's got to be taxes. So again, this is dope. I love it because it's automatic, saves you time. Again, you can do it with your business. You can do it in your personal life. Because the problem with, again, the traditional banking is you get one or two, you get a savings account, you get a checking account. Most of your money goes into checking in a big old account. You think you have $40,000. You're like, oh yeah, cool. I got money or whatever, however much you have. And then you realize, well, shoot, $10,000 that is actually taxes. I pay tithing. So 10% of that is for tithing. My wife wants to go traveling. So out of that 40, the taxes are taken out, tithing's taken out. I actually don't have as much to travel as I thought, and I got to pay the bills. So if you guys aren't using this method, I definitely recommend it because most of the high-level entrepreneurs and mentors that I have, they recommend doing the Profit First bank account. So I'm setting up all my banks, my LLCs, and my business accounts with this. And by the way, I think this is just for businesses. Well, yeah. So all these are business accounts that I have all this set up as, right? And I still have to do a little bit more, but I wanted to show you guys because it's so cool. So if you go to North One, well, if you use my link, you get $50. I get $50 and you get $50. Why not? I already sent this to a couple of my buddies that have business accounts. Forget Wells Fargo. They're cool. They're nice over there when I walk in. But the problem with Wells Fargo, again, is I've asked them, they want me to keep a stupid minimum balance of $500 per account. So if I want to run this scenario with 5-6 accounts, I got to have $3,000 just sitting there all the time. To some people that might not be a big deal, but for me, I'm like, I don't want just $3,000 sitting there, especially that's just one business, right? If I want to do this for all 3-4 of my businesses, I got to have $9,000, $12,000 just sitting there. To bank? Nah, bump that. Forget that. Wells Fargo, get with the times, bro. You don't need minimum balance of $500 just to get rolling. So If you guys are interested, again, $50, no big deal to me. If you don't sign up, I don't care, but this has been huge for me. I've heard about Profit First for a very long time, and now I'm implementing in my business, and I feel a lot more relaxed. I feel a lot better about, the situation of like where my money's going and how to manage it. Forget a spreadsheet. You don't need that. You can literally have an account that as soon as it gets deposited, it will go into the specific envelopes or accounts that you want, so you don't have to worry about it, okay? One thing I want to show you guys as well before I log off is I have everything for you to run your wholesaling business. This is the greatest training ever that I give away for free. Okay. It shows you every step on how to wholesale, and even go on the right side, it shows you how to scale your business. And I have this part where it says finances and manage your bank account. It's right here. It's all here. Okay. So if you're curious of like how much you should allocate to different funds, different accounts like this, if you're not sure, this will tell you. Okay. This is going to tell you how to split up 35, 10, 15. So I'm right in that range I was around here, but I think, with the wholesaling business, I'm probably going to be right around there in my wholesaling business, and then the coaching business will be probably right around here. I mean, I hope it's around here, but you just have to go with the scale to see how you're doing. Check it out here. You can get the link so you can sign up. We both get $50. I just went over exactly how to do this scenario to set it up. I mean, it's really easy. You just go to North One, sign up right here. It takes like 5 minutes to fill out your information. I got my accounts within like 2 days, like set up. Like these are all set up, and it's something I'm pumped about. All right, maybe you guys can tell I'm pumped because I've been wanting this for a long time, but I hated the fact that I had to do this automatically on all my accounts. It was a waste of my time. So anyway, my free gift to you is, if you don't have it, grab the mind map. It's going to give you the link. It's going to show you. I'm going to put this video right here that I did in it so you can watch it later and over again, and manage your money. The biggest reason why companies go out of business is they run out of money. So if you're worried about running out of money, you won't if you can manage it and you know exactly what's paying off what. If you have one giant account and you think all this is going to come out of it, you're all going to be fine, you're probably going to get yourself in trouble thinking you have more money than you really do. Hope that was helpful. And if you guys have any questions, if you need anything, hit me up. All right, later.